Hi, welcome. Savage Shaman here with another Way of Embodiment live stream. It is day 10. Can you believe it? We're already halfway through the 21 day. We're like almost halfway through the 21-day embodiment challenge. How is it going? Let's check in a little bit. I'll just share personally. It's been really awesome to force myself to have an excuse to have 5 minutes to myself every single day. And it's been interesting to notice that 5 o'clock is not a great time for me to choose for myself to take 5 minutes to myself because I got the kids and I got the dinner and I got the stuff and the driving and everything. So today I am coming at you live from my car, which is parked in my driveway and covered in snow, if you can't tell, because this is honestly at this moment the only place in my whole world that I can get to myself for these 5 precious minutes to be with you. Another gift that I hope you are also getting from these daily 5-minute exercises is beginning to develop a habit that you can carry over beyond the 21 days. So I'm giving you so many tools and tricks and different ways to engage with embodiment with yourself, really, to come home to yourself every day. And I cannot tell you enough how powerful it is to have a very simple 5-minute a day practice that is just for you and just to bring yourself back into your body. So powerful medicine. If I could recommend a better time of day or best time of day, it would be first thing in the morning, if you can manage it. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than you usually do, or earlier than the kids wake up, or before the dog is always going to come in and ask to be let out. Before your alarm usually goes off, try setting it 5 minutes earlier. And when you wake up, just remind yourself that you are giving yourself that gift of embodiment before you even step out of your bed, out into the world. Take those 5 precious minutes to be fully present with yourself in your body before you start your day. And let me know how that goes. So today is day 10. And the exercise that we're going to do is called 3 gazes. This is something that I've gleaned from my many years of meditation experience and also experience in yoga. And I've combined this into just an exercise about your vision, your visual field in your eyes. And here's how it goes. So the first thing we're going to do is cover our eyes to welcome back our sight. And what I mean by that is the hours that you spend staring at a screen, you are actually giving the light of your vision into that screen. I would invite you to consider bringing that light back into your being. So warm up the hands so that your hands aren't too cold. And just go ahead and cover your eyes. Oh, even just for a few minutes. This can be such a relief. And this is also an exercise that is recommended to do several times a day, especially if you work in front of a screen. Bringing your vision back into you. And you might also want to massage around your eyes a little bit, your eyebrows and under your eyes. You're taking 5 minutes to give this gift to your eyes. So the first gaze, and I'll give a little more context also. The other reason that I'm offering this exercise is because the way I learned to do meditation was with the eyes open. And it was interesting when I started to teach meditation to get a lot of resistance from people about meditating with your eyes open. So certainly there are perfectly valid and wonderful ways to meditate with your eyes closed. But here we're actually going to practice keeping our eyes open without looking. And I think this is the sticking point, why people resist meditating with their eyes open, because the presumption is that if your eyes are open, that you have to be looking out at something. And actually, the gaze, or the many kinds of gazes that you can use, are not actively looking at anything, but they're simply allowing visual information to come into your field of awareness. Just like when you're meditating, unless you're doing complete sensory deprivation, which is a different kind of practice and not what we're doing here, you are also completely closing off your ears and your nose, and you're not tasting and you're not feeling, which ultimately is not possible. And so here we're considering that your eyes are also part of the sensory awareness fields. And even with your eyes closed, you're still seeing. Your visual acuity is still activated. Whether your eyes are closed and you're dreaming, or if you just close your eyes and you can still see colors and shapes and lights and shadows moving in your visual field. So that's what I mean. So here, we'll keep the eyes open, and the first gaze is to very softly gaze downward toward the tip of your nose. If this is challenging for you, you can start, of course, by looking at your finger, putting it in front of your face, and then slowly moving it towards your nose, keeping your gaze fixed at the tip of your finger. And of course, when you get to the tip of your nose, you will be cross-eyed. So then close your eyes, and when you open your eyes, allow your vision to be cast downward very gently and just past the tip of the nose. So we'll practice that together. This is the first gaze. And the idea with working with the gazes is to bring our energy and our awareness back into our being, back into our body in this present moment. So practicing allowing visual information and light to be coming into your eyes without grasping and fixating and trying to change whatever is going on. Of course, don't do this while you're driving. I'm in the passenger seat and the car is parked, so we're perfectly safe. Okay, so first gaze is down toward the nose, but not cross-eyed. Then the second gaze is up towards the third eye. And if this is also challenging for you, you can start again by focusing on your finger above your head, a little bit above your line of sight, and just a foot in front of you. And then follow the tip of your finger as it comes in towards your forehead. And then close your eyes, because we're not going to practice going cross-eyed. But what you will do is when you open your eyes very softly, allow the gaze to float upward, but keep it very soft. So now we're going to open our eyes and gaze upward. It's a very soft, open gaze. While we are practicing this gaze also, I should mention the first gaze, looking down toward the tip of the nose, is an antidote for an overactive mind. So if you're trying to meditate and your mind is going bonkers, try changing your focus, yeah? Allowing the eyes to be cast down. Similarly, as an antidote to sleepiness or dullness, if you feel like your meditation is very dull or you're falling asleep, change your gaze by gently lifting the eyes up toward the third eye. And you'll find that your awareness becomes brighter and more refreshed. There's also a yogic version of this, which you may have done in yoga classes, which is the lion's pose, where you stick out your tongue and you really open your eyes wide. But this is not what we're doing here. This is a softer, gentler version. And the 5-minute version, even though I know we're over the 5-minute talking about it, but you can definitely do this within 5 minutes. So gaze number 3 is the inward gaze. So I'll share one more story since we're chatting. When I went to Japan, I noticed something really striking about being in Japanese culture, and that is that it seems like people don't really look you in the eye the way we do in the West, or they don't seem to really like open their eyes really wide and try to like focus on something as they're walking or talking, or just existing. The Japanese gaze, and I think this is very part of Asian culture in general, it's an inward gaze where the eyes are open and you're taking in all of the visual information. So everything that's arising within your Adi bonjour, allo Giuseppe. Thank you for joining. All of the visual information that is in your visual field is present and you're aware of it, but you're not fixating on it. One more way to think about this is also in the context of martial arts. So for a martial artist, you need to have this kind of sixth sense awareness of everything that's going on around you, in front of you, to the side and behind you, without actually seeing it with your physical eyes. And so that's the third gaze that we're going to practice right now. And we'll start by closing your eyes. And if it helps, you can invite your vision to turn inward. And gently open your eyes just enough to let the light in, but maybe everything in your visual field is still blurry. And it may also help if you take your glasses off. So everything is blurry for me anyway. And just stay with this inward gaze. And without moving your eyes one way or another, try and notice as much as you can everything that is arising in your visual field. Just noticing without fixating or naming. And then relax. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining. It's really been a pleasure. This is day 10. We're halfway through. And when you go back to try this on your own, remember there are 3 gazes. So first we had gazing down just past the tip of the nose. And the second one is gazing up toward the third eye. And the third gaze is simply an inward gaze. Um, do practice, or at least try this out like an experiment with yourself. Say, okay, this crazy woman, what is she talking about? Do this as an experiment and see how it shifts your energy. The other part of working with the gazes in this way, by bringing the visual energy, the light of your eyes back into yourself, you are not just reclaiming your energy that you've been giving away all day, looking at things and looking at people and looking at your phone. You are bringing back your power. I am bringing back my power, my energy, my vision. And see if you can stay with that for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, even for a whole day. Just experiment and see what that feels like, because it literally draws your energy back into your body. It's a very powerful practice for embodiment. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know in the comments how this is going for you, and we will certainly be seeing you again soon. As always, stay kind, stay real, and stay savage.